Right then lads, we're back. I've had a week off. It won't make no difference to you because the videos were 2 weeks behind anyway. Now they'll just be 1 week behind. We've got a new setup, we've got a new light, we've got a new microphone. Hopefully the videos are a bit better quality. And most importantly, we've got a new plan. We're going back to more power building style. We've done the powerlifting, we've got the 1 rep maxes that we wanted. The peak didn't, well the meet didn't go as well as I had hoped it would. But I've been sick all last week. I've been pretty ill. I think that was loading while I was doing the meet. So all in all, I'm pretty happy with what we got. I'm happy with the 120 bench. I'm happy with the 190 deadlift. I'm happy with the 165 squat. So hopefully along the time we're on this plan, we can add to that a little bit. But for the time being, we're starting slow because we've had a week off. And we've got a different selection of exercises, more power building. Still trying to get strong in the main lifts, but we're going to have a bit more bodybuilding style accessories sort of thing. Try and get a bit massive. So squats on a Monday. It's always squats on a Monday. First one. 8 of them. We'll go to 80 kilo, we'll do 4. Will we do 4? 5? Something like that. So the plan we're running is a modified bull mastiff. Bull mastiff, typically, what you'll find is that everyone says the build phase at the start, really good. Peak phase, not so good. And I've found that running the plan before. I've run it twice. And the build phase I've really enjoyed. And as soon as it gets to the peak phase, I lost interest. It's not very good. So what we're doing is we're adapting it a little bit. So we're gonna, instead of, it's supposed to be 4 sets of 6 with an AMRAP at the end for the squat. What we're gonna do is we're gonna add a top set in of a heavy triple for the first 3 weeks. So I'm gonna work up now and I'm gonna do 120 for 3, which not heavy, but it's a place for me to start. So that towards the end we can work up to something heavier. So to mitigate the fatigue from adding an extra set and heavy set, we're going to change the AMRAP from the last set to just, we're going to RP7 it or something. Not so much. So the progress of the sets isn't as much as it would be, but we're adding more intensity to this set with the intent of ditching off the peak phase altogether. Yeah, I think with the powerlifting meet, the squat didn't quite go to plan. Obviously, it's okay, but the way I squat kind of really super high bar, super upright, and then rely on it sort of coming down and bouncing off the bottom, like a stretch reflex sort of a reaction. And I misgrooved it. I went down and it just wasn't in the right place. Wasn't feeling it. It felt heavy. I have been considering trying to swap to a low bar squat. It's meant to be better for powerlifting, better for strength, better for moving absolute loads. But I think my body shape, my torso is real long. I think it's quite good to keep it upright. And it's working for me so far. So I don't know why we would need to change just yet. Maybe in the future it's something to look at, but we'll see. Okay, so this is going to be our first top set. The plan that I have is we're going to add 10 kilo a week to the squat and the deadlift, 5 kilo a week to the bench. Then at the end of the 9 weeks, theoretically, we should get our 200 kilo deadlift, we should get our 80 kilo 180 kilo squat and 130 bench. So we're going to do triples for the first 3 weeks, doubles for the next 3 weeks, singles for the last 3 weeks. We've got a 9-week plan again. We're starting at 120 here, so we're going to go 120, 130, 140 for triples, 140, 150, 160 for doubles, 160, 170, 180 for singles. Hopefully, that's the plan. Let's see if we can do it. I think so. Let's hope. But yeah, let's get 3 reps of this done. Nice, not bad there. Then we've got a few sets of 6 at 107 kilo after that. Not too bad there. Forgot to film that on my phone, so there'll be no vertical. So we've got 4 sets of 6 today. I haven't decided whether on the last set we're still going to do more than 6 reps. I think maybe we'll just do the 6, but next week we'll add weight. Maybe we'll add 7.5 kilo, so it's 115 next week. And then we'll add 5 kilo, so it's 120 the week after. And then week 4 acts as a mini deload. So it'll come back down and then we'll ramp back up again. I think the most important thing that I've learned from the last plan is that managing fatigue is more important than what the numbers are here. Literally, like, I could send this AMRAP at the end, do a ton of reps, and then next week just be knackered. Or like like the thing that I found running like 531 Bull Mastiff programs that have an AMRAP is if you do as many reps as possible, I don't recover. I don't recover well from it. I'm 35. I do a lot of cycling. I work full time. I maybe don't sleep very well. If you can do as many reps as you can every single session, 4 days a week, every week, fair enough. But I can't recover from that. I found the last plan staying well within my limits. I actually felt comfortable the entire time, and I actually made progress for the first time in a while, on the deadlift anyway. Like, I added a ton to my squat last year because I only started squatting last year. But the deadlift stayed, the one with max stayed the same throughout, and I was picking up little tweaks, injuries, not really getting anywhere. Getting a few more reps here and there, but not as much as you would expect. And I think bringing that fatigue down really allowed me to excel or get more from myself, which it sounds counterintuitive, and like everything that I started training, my friend Tom, he got me into it. He's a bodybuilder and is like train to failure, you know, smash, recover sort of training. And I think for bodybuilding that works with the smaller things, but for the squats and for deadlifts, I think if I do as much as I can, then I just accumulate a lot of fatigue, and it doesn't translate into bigger lifts. It translates into more tired worst performance, as we saw in the powerlifting meet where I couldn't move 180 kilo deadlift off the floor. After the 190, I was knackered. I could have probably done with a full deload week and then do the meet. But it is what it is. 6 reps of these. 107.5 kilo. Set one down. Okay, set 2, 6 more reps. I have a feeling my legs are going to be sore after this, after a week off. Okay, let's have 6 more. Nice, one more set. Okay then, last one. I think we're going to sack off the AMRAP, just get that solidified now. We're just going to do 6 reps and we're going to add 5%-ish week on week. So, sorry. Where are we now? 107, so 5% is probably 6-ish, 7-ish kilo. So if we go to 112.5 or 115 next week, and then we'll go to 120, 122 or something the week after. Then week 5 it resets. Week 4 it resets, sorry. I think that works. I think that's I think they're manageable jumps. I think if I went and did a bunch of reps now and then had to add, I don't know, the way the progression works is based on your rep max as well. So my 1 rep max is 165. So if I added 5% of that rather than 5% of this, it would be more weight. If I added 10%, adding 16 kilos, we would be going to 125 next week, which I don't think I would be ready for right now at this point in the plan. So we're going to keep it steady, keep it slow, keep me wanting to come back, you know. I think that's a main issue with things. Like, if you really don't want to do something, then you're not going to perform well at it. And if, like, I remember doing this last year, and it was, I think it was on the 5x5, and I had 5 sets of 120 kilos in a row with an AMRAP at the end. And bearing in mind, at the start of the year, I could only just squat 120 kilos for 1. So trying to get me to do 25 reps of it, because at 100 kilos I could do 18 reps or something. It didn't, like, it wasn't any good. I was just absolutely knackered. Couldn't put much into the exercises that follow, and I sat in between sets for, you know, a long time, being like, I just don't want to do this. And now I know what I know. I should have just been doing a bit less, and you know, making it good instead of picking a number, an arbitrary number, because the program said you have to do this number, and then struggling real bad through it, like picking up little injuries, little niggles, something's gone, something's torn, something whatever, lower back hurts. Like, that isn't training. I'm not trying to win anything. I'm just I'm just trying to be stronger than I was before I started doing this, and I'm making some videos for 20 people to watch, you know? Like, I don't need to be absolutely dead, dying. I ended up having a lot of time off with it. I'd do deadlifts, and something would tweak in my back here. And I'd carry on the set because I'd be like, oh yeah, it's normal. It all happens on TV in the strongman. And Brian Shaw says, if you get hurt, then you got to finish the contest or whatever. But like, he's making a bunch of money for being the strongest guy in the world. I'm regular strength guy on telly. You know what I mean? I have the rest of my life to do. I need to walk my dog. I need to ride my bike. I need to go to work. I need to go swimming in the lake. So yeah, the last plan, the TSA Strength Athlete Powerlifting Plan. Great job of managing fatigue. Great job of actually getting me to progress comfortably over 2 months. You know. So hopefully for the next 2 months, in 2 months' time, we'll add another few kilos to the 1 rep max. And then 2 months' time after that, we'll add another few kilos to it. And instead of trying to hammer progression with AMRAPs or whatever, every single session, more weight, more reps, more whatever, we're going to go with the plan of 2 months' time, we'll try another 1 rep max. And then if the training's working, then it's working. I think that's the best way of doing it. But, right, that's quite an indignant rant for no reason. Anyway, yeah, cool. 6 more reps. I'm not doing an AMRAP, you can't make me. There we go. That was nice. We could have done a few more, but what would we have gained from it? Just some fatigue. Okay. We're changing now. We've got RDL. I love the RDL, I love the stretch. We've got 12 reps, which is weird. I don't think we've done anything more than 6 in a while. So that should be nice. We'll start it steady, because you don't want to go from 4 to 6 reps to 12, doing 12 heavy. Probably start with 60, see how that feels. Okay, we've got the RDL now. One of my favourite exercises. I like the big stretch feeling. It feels real cool. We really like the Bull Mastiff programming. It's just a case of managing the fatigue and just intentionally sacking off the peak phase, because I don't like it. I like the build phase. It puts a lot of muscle onto you, particularly on your legs and ass. So you end up pretty big booty. Okay, felt pretty good. It wants an RPE 6, so not too mental this week. We've got 3 sets. Maybe we'll add 2 kilo. How about that? Just at the start of the block, really don't want to go too hard. That's for later on. This time we're doing a new movement, So we want to keep it, you know, heavy enough that you feel like you're doing it, but not the most you can do. Nowhere near. Well, I think we would probably be good for 3 sets of 80 at 12 reps, 80 kilos, 12 reps, maybe a little bit more, but just not now. Maybe week 3, you know. As of right now, I'm happy with that. It felt good. Felt nice. We'll do this. We'll add another 2.5 and that's it. Next week, we add a few more sets. The way Bull Mastiff works is it adds volume. So you start, today we've got 4 sets of the main lift, 3 sets of this, 2 sets of everything else after this, I think. And then next week we'll have 4 sets of this, 3 sets of everything else, and then 5 sets of this, 4 sets of everything else. More as time progresses. More stuff, more weight, but you acclimatise to the workload. It works, it really works. Like I say, peak phase crap, build phase, one of the best ones I've done. Okay. I've had a nice couple of minutes there. I've got another 12 reps of these, 62.5 kilo, a little bit heavier. Still don't think we're gonna be too put out by it, to be honest. It's a nice, real nice deep stretch in the hamstrings. So with those, you see a lot of people and they'll just sort of bend over like that. And that's not really what you want to do. You want to drive the bend here, so like a hinge. You want to drive your hips backwards so that the bar stays over your midfoot, stays over the centre of balance. You have to have your knees quite soft, but not like actively bending. Drive your hips back like you're trying to shut a car door with your cans of pop in your hand or whatever. And you just feel real big stretch in the hamstrings. It's good. Doesn't feel like a traditional, like it's kind of unlike any other exercise where you feel like the pull and squeeze. You don't really get that because obviously at the top you're not really loaded, but at the bottom you're massively loaded. So rather than a big squeeze, you feel more of the weight in the stretch. Does that make sense? I don't know. You probably already know how to do an RDL. You're probably better at them than I am. Okay, one more of these. 65 kilo now. These sets take a long time when it's 12 reps, don't they? It's not like the 4 reps and we're done in 20 seconds anymore. Bit of a cardio workout here. What's this? So we're using straps, even though we obviously don't need straps to hold on to 65 kilo. It just eliminates the grip as a factor because we're training to get massive hamstrings and ass, not massive grip. That's that done. We have bent over rows now. Not too bad. So again, what were it last week, week before? We're doing bent over rows with 80 kilo for 6 reps. We've got 12 to 15 now. Because it's a rep range, we're gonna go, I'll probably start at 50 kilo. If we hit 15 reps, we add weight. If we fall in 12 to 15, it's ideal. If we're doing less than 12, it's too heavy. Right, bent over rows, same thing again. We're using straps because you can't stop me. And I think they had a nice, secure feeling. I'm aware that in another video I said, feels better when you can hold on to the bar. Don't listen to me. Right, got 15, felt it, felt good here. I haven't felt that in a little while. You don't really get the burn on the lower reps. Okay, second set, this is all we're doing this week. The last one we did was a max set volume, which is interesting. I guess nearly 3 times the reps we were doing before, not more than half the weight, so yeah, it's going to be more in it. Don't feel as hard. I guess that's the nature of like the bodybuilding style training, and you can dial it closer to failure. It's like, I always think of it like a different screw type. I'm a mechanic, just for argument's sake. So if you think of a fine thread pitch and a coarse thread pitch. With the coarse thread pitch, it tightens quicker, you get more per turn, but with a finer thread pitch, it can tighten further, closer to failure. So that's how I think of it. Like with the bodybuilding stuff, you're doing 15 reps. I feel like you can get closer to failure as a percentage. Whereas with the heavy stuff, say if you did a set of, you could do 5, your 5 rep max, you did 3 reps of it, you've done 2 reps in reserve, but that's only 60% of the reps that you could do. Whereas with 20 reps, if you left 2 reps in reserve, you've done 90% of the reps you could do. I don't know if it works like that, but I always think of it like that. You can screw it in a little bit further. The heavier stuff is heavier, obviously. And there's obviously some crossover somewhere in between. But I think with the bodybuilding, that's why you see the higher rep stuff. The strength building, obviously, you don't need as much stimulus close to failure to get better at it. So you need more exposure to heavier loads, but you need to be further away from failure so that you can recover and try harder next time. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. That's the way I'm going with it. Right, shut up. 12, 15, 52.5 kilo now. Okay, 15, just about. We'll start there next week. I think that's a good way of running it. Get 15 again, we'll go 55, 57. Right, you'll like these ones. Pretty funny looking. Good job I'm not embarrassed of doing weird looking shit on the internet. If you've got a home gym, you don't want to spend the money on a leg extension, leg curl, but you've got a cable machine, this is the solution I've found to that. They're obviously not as good as the ones in the gym, but you know, the rack's always free. Yeah, just you need some ankle cuffs. They go on your wrist as well. Ankle wrist cuffs are called. attach it to your lower pulley, lay down on your bench, and then pretty good. Yeah, definitely does the job, definitely works. We've got a leg extension next. That one looks probably even more funny, even more ridiculous. But like I say, if this is what you've got, it works. You feel it, definitely feel it in the hamstrings. What I've found is you want to pull the bench quite far away from the thing, as far as you can, so that there's tension on, like, immediately, you know? If you go a bit closer, then the tension starts up here or something. You don't get the full stretch at the bottom. With this, you know, you're getting 95% of it, probably. I think if I put something under my knees, maybe we'll get a little bit more. Maybe we'll try that next week. But as it goes, this is pretty good. Okay, set 2. Try to get 15 more. The problem with this is it's kind of impractical to try and add weight between sets. But if we hit 15 twice, we'll stick a kilo on next week or something, 2 kilos maybe. I went out and I bought some small change plates for this and for the dumbbells, so we can actually add little changes now, so that's quite good. Anyway, 12 more, 15 more, 12 or 15 more. Okay, right, so this is how you dismount. Ow. Elegant, as always. I need to swap the ankle cuffs round now so that I can do the other way up and kick. That'll be funny, watch. Okay, here we are, kind of the opposite on this one. You need to be a bit closer to it so that, well, for this one anyway, you don't have much range of movement on the machine, so if you're too far away, you end up kicking it into the top of the machine. But this is the best way I've found of doing these. It might look a bit stupid, but it is what it is. Oh, fuck, there we go. One set 15, again, can't really get off it. Well, you can, but it takes a long time to get onto it. So we just lay here for a minute or so, and then we'll do 15 again. Oh. Yeah, I say this probably feels better than some leg extensions I've used. Holding your own legs up isn't really that good, but maybe you could put a bar across here or something. Put the safeties in, put a bar across. Hook. I don't know how you would hook yourself in, but I bet you could do that. I don't know. It's okay. We're good. Okay, let's go for 15 more. Oh, we really haven't done any high rep stuff in a while, but it's good though. It does a real good job of growing your legs, this program. Like I say, that'll do that. Just some cable crunch now and we're off. So same again, 12, 15 reps, 2 sets for the time being. Oh, 15. I don't like as many reps in this day as we did in that entire last week. Probably more. Oh. Right, so we got to 15. So like we said, we're going to add weight. We got a single because it felt pretty difficult. I appreciate I should have added weight to the leg curl and leg extension. It's just difficult when you're strapped in. So we'll do it next week. We'll add 2.5 kilo to that, I think. Yeah, 1. And last set, 12 to 15 reps. Will do. Right, cool, that's it. We're done. We'll do a little physique check, see where we're at. Beginning of the program, see where we get to by the end. Okay, so I don't know if that's a little bit bright, but I felt like we gained pretty significant size in my back on the last plan, which is pretty mental, considering it's a powerlifting plan. But yeah, we've got shoulders in this one, and shoulders, biceps, triceps, some actual bodybuilding work to do. So we might see an increase in aesthetics a little bit more. Feel like maintaining my not fat, not thin, not lean, not huge sort of aesthetic well. I think the shoulders have probably gone down a bit from not doing much, but they usually blow up pretty quick. My overhead press is quite lacking, obviously because of the shoulder dislocations, the surgery. That shoulder just doesn't have the same power as this one. But it manages. We'll get through. Anyway, that's the first session of our plan. Bull Mastiff, modified Bull Mastiff, let's call it that. Kind of Bull Mastiff exercise selection, not really the Bull Mastiff progression. The Thomas Halliwell progression of Bull Mastiff. We call it the Staffordshire Bull Terrier version. Anyway, thanks for coming. I'll see you tomorrow for bench.